All right. Hello. Hello. All right, I think we're on. I'm so excited. We're live. It's been a while since we've done a live show. So welcome to the Monica Brant Show. I'm Monica Brant, of course, your host. And I'm so excited tonight. We've got a really special treat for the end of 2021. And I'm also going to be joined tonight with my beautiful co-host, 𝗬𝗽cie 𝘂𝘂𝗯𝗲, the amazing IFBB superstar, and my dear friend and beautiful co-host. There she is, 𝗬𝗽cie. Hi, 𝗬𝗽cie.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you after our Merry Christmas. And I'm
Yes.
yours was beautiful and peaceful and all the good things.
It was. I would say the same thing about New Year's, except I got summoned to jury duty for New Year's.
What?
I know. Don't they know?
Jury duty? Wait, on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. But this will make it all better. Like just being able to do this with you and doing our whole like wrap up of the Monica Brant season 2, it's gonna like make up for my New Year's.
Oh, well, you're so sweet. I'm like, my brain is kind of going back to me having jury duty. And I remember I haven't been summoned here in San Antonio since I've moved back to San Antonio, but I had them up in Austin when I was living up there. And it seems like for whatever reason, I kept getting out of them. Like, and one time I went and showed up, and then it was like after a few hours, they're like, okay, this is just, they're rescheduling all of it. So it's like, all right. But it just seems like for whatever reason, I kept getting out of them. I never had to like fulfill my.
Well, when like offline, you'll have to like tell me your secrets, teach me your ways, because I would love the same.
You're so cute. I think it was just the way it happened. Like I didn't try to do anything. One time years ago, I think I was a little bit irritable about having to be there because it disrupted my entire schedule. Oh, I just lost an earring. Okay.
Blooper reel, but we're live.
Makeup, wardrobe. Anyways, but I remember being a little irritable about having to go.
Yeah.
And I showed up, and I think what I said to them when they were asking me, and I said, well, I feel irritated that I have to be here. Now, at that point, I was young, and I didn't really understand the benefit of having the jury and why that is such an important role. And, when you get older, you kind of understand things. And then my dad also made a comment to me that made sense. He was like, this is a really awesome opportunity for people. And someday if you ever had to be there, you would want someone, not that I plan to be in court, but you never know, right? Yeah. So it's like you would hope to have a good jury that would come in, and so I know a lot of people actually like jury duty.
I know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Have you ever watched that silly show, The Office?
I did. I'm not like an avid Office watcher, but I've heard of the show. I've seen probably clips of it.
Well, there were just some of the staff in there look forward to getting on jury duty, and one of the characters went on, and he was on a high profile case where what they called this Scranton Strangler, and so they were all making a big deal about it and trying to get him to talk. It was just one of the funny ones because he was all proud to be on this high profile case.
Maybe I'll watch that, like, because you can find all that stuff on YouTube. So I'll look up the clip on YouTube.
My husband and I love Office. When we want to just sit and laugh, we watch The Office. So without further ado, I want to look and see who's joined us because we've got some people that have jumped on here and left some comments. So if you are joining us, I would love to hear where you're joining us from. And I have a big monitor over here because I can't see my monitor real well here. So I'm just going to peek over. We've got Lisa Z. She's up in Canada. And she's been, hi, Lisa. Nice to see you, sweetheart. And she's saying hi to 𝗬𝗽cie as well. Idris Ward. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Idris. It's so good to hear from you. 𝗬𝗽cie. I'm not sure how to say that, but that's a cool name anyways.
That is. 𝗬𝗂𝘁. That is a
Hello,
cool name.
𝗬𝗂𝘁. Where are you from? Brian says, hi, Monica. Hi, Wendy. Love you both. Thank you, Brian. Yats Hombros. She's beautiful and pretty. I'm assuming he means both of us. We'll take it. And David Martinez, hello. Doug's Guitar Works, watching from Canada. Awesome. Good to have you back on, Doug. Jennifer Faulkner from Australia. Hey, Jen. So
Hey.
Jen was at one of my fem camps back in maybe 2010 or 2011, 12. I don't remember what year, but she recently got in touch with me and she's like, I still have all those great pictures from the fem camp. And I was like, oh my gosh, so I need to get them from her. Kind of fun to have all those to reminisce from. And Sherry, hi Sherry, good to hear from you, sweetheart. Sherry's in Wisconsin. Awesome.
Hello.
So Wendy, tonight we have, and it's going to be, and hi John, sorry. Hi John. Tonight we have highlights from 2021 interviews.
Woo-hoo.
I'm excited. And and I'm thinking there's 2 of these that you were on, and the rest of them are going to be surprises for you.
Awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
And our awesome show producer, Claudia, has pulled a few videos, a few seconds from each video. We've got 12. So we're going to run through them and just kind of visit about the fun little clip. And I'm looking forward to seeing, I know you haven't had a chance to watch all of them, but everyone here has been awesome interviews and I'm excited to share. So
reaction in real time, nothing better than that.
Yeah, right. So great to have everyone on, and thank you so much for tuning in. Hang tight. We're going to go through 12 awesome clips from 2021 interviews. And the first one we're starting off with is somebody that I worked with in the very start of my career. And she was also in the fitness industry up in Canada. And we kind of have very similar starts. But she went off and did WWE and was one of the original WWE superstars and still has a huge name. So Claudia, let's see what Trish Stratus has for us tonight. Oh, I cannot hear. Can you hear, Wendy?
I can't.
I can't either. Look at my curly hair.
You both look beautiful.
Well, thank you. Looks like we could be related a little bit.
You look like sisters.
I don't know what year it was.
Favorite Muscle Mag cover?
Oh, of my own?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. How do I describe it? I don't know what year it was.
Do the pose.
You guys are both going to are you going to pick one?
There it is.
More glutes.
Bring the waist up. Remember it was arch the butt.
Arch it. Yes. Oh my God. You were like, oh, like remember that? Like completely like contortion almost.
Arch the butt. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I have a question. This is for both you and Trish, but she's not here. When you're doing like photo shoots, how much instruction do you get from the photographers?
Honestly, I guess it was kind of a 50-50. Sometimes you'd have photographers that really would get into it. Like Robert Reeve was very instruction-y. He gave a lot of instruction.
Yeah.
He had a lot of insight. I guess, actually I'm thinking of all the original physique photographers that were the original ones. So Robert Reeve, Alex Ardenti, Gemma Mentler, Irvin Gelb, Rick Schaff, Jason Ellis, like those original photographers that did all of the shooting except for, like Ralph DeHaan. He was a muscle fitness contracted photographer.
Yeah.
And he, even him, they all gave a tremendous amount of instruction and they knew how to get the best physique photos.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah.
Top photographers. In fact, I'm trying to get Rick Schaff to come on here, and he's the only holdup is that he wants to go through his arsenal of photos from me with me over all the.
That sounds like fun though.
And go through and just do a reel of all the stuff that we did together over all the years, the covers and so forth. But those guys, you know what the crazy thing is, all of them knew how to accentuate the physique both for male and female.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of instruction from them. Now moving into some of the other photographers that came from some more fashion stuff, they didn't really know how to get a physique, a good physique to really pop well.
Right. I know they're like focused on different things, right? Like when you have more of a fashion photographer, they're more so looking at like kind of the artistry of the whole vibe and, you know, the beauty of your face and stuff like that. But a physique photographer is really looking at the shapes and like the symmetry and the, you know, like Trish was just saying, like the arch of the back, like they're really looking for those contrasting shapes and angles.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I do feel like, I mean, I haven't shot with, I've shot with a fraction of the photographers you have, but I have shot with enough photographers to where I've picked up on different like styles. Like some let me run with it and some are very instructional. And I do notice the ones that are more like fashion focused, they're like what they kind of focus on, and the ones that are more into that art, that physique flow. It's interesting, you know, it is interesting.
I know that for me, I really appreciate when a photographer is interacting with me and not just holding the camera shooting. Because if there's just a camera shooting at me, then I start like getting weirded out inside.
Yeah.
You know,
like, I trust myself, but what's going on? How does this look? Is this a good one? Is that a good one?
I know, I know not everything looks good, and it's like don't just keep shooting. Like, and one of the photographers, I know we probably have to wrap this up and move to our next video pretty quick, but one of the photographers, Stuart Volland, he was really, really top, and I hate to miss out on Per Bernal. Like, I'm kind of like there was like different eras of physique photographers. You had your first group, which I kind of said in the beginning, and then there's this other group that came through, and Per Bernal was like one of the second tiers, not second tier level, or because he's amazing, but just kind of time wise in the industry is what I'm saying. And then there was a guy named Stuart Volland who came. I got to wrap this up. Came from fashion, and he started doing these big monitors and plug in his computer into the monitors. He could see the pictures almost immediately. And he was doing a lot of cover stuff for Oxygen for a while.
He's ahead of his time.
Yeah, it was awesome. Okay, so let's go on. Our next guest or next interview is with Milo Fitness. Milo, let's see what Claudia's pulled out of Milo's interview for us. Favorite Muscle Mag cover.
Look at that. Nice.
Oh boy.
You need to wait for our keep her hair.
So Milo is one of the world's top obstacle race coaches and obstacle.
Is this like part of your like 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗁𝗲 butt?
This is part of the 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗁𝗲 butt.
Yeah, 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗁𝗲 butt. Is that what it's called?
This one right here. Watch this last one. Watch this one right here. So that was so fun because this was a really, you can't see how high that was, but it was not that one specifically, but the one right before it. That would have been a problem. That was a kid size right there. But the rolling tires, so those were actual tires that spun. If you didn't get up on top of them, you know, it would just pull you back down. And you had to get up on top. And so he was so excited because he said there weren't very many women that were able to do that one. And I was like, that was fun.
Well, there's not very many men that would be willing to do that. What is, okay. So back up. Well, pump the brakes. Hold on. What is his deal? Why is he jumping over rolling tires? What is this?
So he's got oh my goodness. So Milo has a humongous cool story, you know, and he's military, he's a veteran, and he has he got into this obstacle course racing, but he also started creating obstacles. So he's one of the top obstacle creators in the country, maybe in the world too. And he's up here in Austin. So I had worked with him before when I was running Spartan racing and was learning how to do obstacles, and I trained with him. And then I asked him if we could come do a 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗁𝗲 butt there. So that was the 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗁𝗲 butt piece. But he has his own outdoor training facility. He's got a kids section, and then he just has all these different obstacles. And So that was just one of them, this tire spin. And he just, it was on his property, on his, in his training course. So I asked him I was like, what is this? And he goes, well, it's a tire spin. And I'm like, well, how do you do it? And he's like, and he has a hurt knee. He was injured with his knee, so he couldn't do it. He couldn't show me anything, basically. Yeah. So he was
easiest and hardest obstacle that you did
there.
What was the easiest and what was the hardest?
Well, climbing a cargo net's pretty easy. I would say that tire one might, for that location, because, well, I did try his warped wall, and I've gotten up a lot of warped walls in the past, but his warped wall is completely outside, and there was gravel running up to it, which I was not comfortable running in gravel. And then you had this single, very narrow warped wall that went up, and it was really curved. And I haven't been doing obstacles for a couple of years, so I was like, I'm going to try, but no, I wasn't able to do his. But I've done a lot of warped walls in the country, so I know I've done them in the past. Just his, I wasn't able to do. But so that tire was it was just all about timing, and it was a very short space that you could run, so you had to get fast and then jump high right away. So it was kind of.
I feel like that one was easy for you, but you feel like you should say that was the hardest one, because deep down inside that one was probably the hardest for everyone else. So you're like you keep gravitating to saying that one was hard, but let's be real, you jumped over it pretty easily. But I'm sure it was hard for everyone else, but you not so much.
I'll have to say this, but thank you. One of his obstacles, which didn't really show there very well, was a 8 foot or 9 foot, it might have been 9 foot wall.
Yeah.
So it's a single straight up wall.
9 foot wall.
And so you run to it, and then you basically get up on the top and pull yourself over, right? And I haven't done this. I was training for obstacle stuff for about almost 4 years, and got really, really proficient in obstacles, but then I haven't done anything for a few years. So this was last year, 2021, right? And when I went there, I hadn't jumped a wall like that in a couple of years. And so it was the first time I ran up to it, I'm like, because there's something very specific about the timing for a jump like that to be able to get enough, get up enough and get over that big wall. So when I got up on that wall, I almost started bursting into tears, because it was so exciting to think I could still get up a 9 foot wall.
You need to do American Ninja Warrior.
I auditioned for that twice, but didn't get on it. So
my twin sister my twin sister got on it twice. She didn't get on the actual episode though.
Well, we have lots to talk about. All of that. It's a whole other past, but I'm seeing we've got to move on to our next.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got next up is a Wes Whitlock, and he's got another awesome facility up in Austin. And we did a Kick Most Butt, and we did a short little podcast up there with him. So he's a veteran as well, and he owns a really awesome company called Rogue American Apparel and Invader Coffee.
Okay, so explain.
Same thing. We Kick Most Butt, and I knew he had an outdoor facility that he allows his patrons, because he's got a store up near Lake Travis.
Yeah.
Up in Austin, so Lake Travis. So he's got a really cool store up there for his Rogue American Apparel and his Invader Coffee, and then outside he's got some pretty cool. He's got stones, and of course that lift in the car, and all these different things that are kind of more like strongman type things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like strongman.
Yeah, so we played around with that, and that truck that showed up. And I'm sorry, his training facility is for either veterans or patrons. He pretty much has it open to those kind of people that come and train. And so he's got a lot of different guys that come train with him, and he's pretty tough guy. But the truck that I'm pulling, I think that's the heaviest truck, because it's still counted as a truck on the insurance.
Yeah,
I think 25,000 tons or something like this, something crazy. I didn't actually pull it by myself. What happened is it just
I
looks
was like,
it, right?
yeah.
And it was going uphill a little bit. So we actually had me and him and maybe 2 other people, and we actually got it pushed up. So we actually, but they didn't take pictures. They made it look like I pulled it. So we'll just pretend I pulled it.
Wow.
Let's see, who would want to see Wendy try to pull the truck? Yeah, Wendy will have to come to Texas and come try pulling
I'm
it.
down. I'm down. You know, I put on a good front that I'm just like, but trust me, I can do it. I think I can do it. If Monica can do it, I can do it. Although I would say that I wouldn't mind if I wait till everybody pushes it up the hill, and then when it's on the way down the hill, then I'll like pretend to be pulling it, and then they take the pictures then. That's what they
So it's funny. So Wes, you saw him carry me, right? On the kind of I got him on my piggyback and carried him, and he was laughing so hard because I carried him.
You did that? Wait, you did that? Do you have a picture of that one?
I don't think we have a picture of it though. So, the photographers, we did it for fun, but it wasn't part of the workout actually.
Got it.
But he was laughing an awful lot. It was fun. Let's see, who else have we got on here? I think Lisa Z says, I think the better photographers, whoops, I can't see my screen very well here. See the beauty in the models. Thank you. There we are, Claudia. Thank you. And are able to get the best photos because they already see their beauty and vision comes out and how they work with you. Yes, exactly. Lisa's done enough pictures that she knows what a good photographer is too.
I have noticed that some photographers have a vision going into the photo shoot, whereas other ones are just like, what did you bring?
You know what? One of my favorite shots, I have to tell you, one of my favorite photo shoots was with a girl named 𝗬cie 𝘂𝗀𝗲𝗱. And she came to me and she says, I have this idea because I want to shoot you as if you were the fit Marilyn Monroe. And so she had a stylist. She had all the locations, and she had like 4 setups that she had in her mind planned. She had the clothing and the hair and makeup artist, and every time we changed clothes, which I just showed up, like I didn't have to do anything. But the cool thing is that she had the vision already, like you said. We shot in a 50s diner because we shot during the Nationals or something like that down in Florida one year. And so we shot in a 50s diner, which had Marilyn Monroe, and it had black and white and the red chairs. And like, it was so 50s. And I had like black tight, pants on and a white starched shirt, and my hair was all up and the red lips and everything. And so fun. And I could really get into that character, right?
Yeah.
And then we had like some real kind of 50s high-waisted and turtleneck kind of outfit on a very clean bed, which was not distasteful at all because I don't like to shoot on a bed, but it was just so pretty, and my hair was down and curled, and it was really, really tasteful. And I was like completely covered except high-waisted kind of bottoms. And she shot me in this big window of the hotel room with this big, beautiful white dress on, and different hairdo again, and it had made a cover down in Florida. And then there was one more where she put me in this cool leopard print dress, and I had an old like camera with me, and we had my hair up in different.
That sounds awesome.
And it was right outside of the that 50s diner. It had a really old looking door and gate and everything. So she had this vision. And when you get somebody like that can really make you feel like a model, it's, with this idea, and you can kind of get into the character. I think that's really fun.
That's awesome.
Super fun.
I want to see those pictures.
Yeah, I'll have to pull them out sometime, and we'll have to do some of them. Okay, let's move on to our next guest, who is a genius when it comes to nutrition and training. He's written books. He's brilliant. I've known him for a long time, and he's got a new product out that I've been sharing a little bit with called Alpha Coffee Booster. However, I put it in my tea. He says, I think you're the only one that puts it in your tea, because I don't really drink coffee, but I like it. So. Okay. Well, I was thinking we were going to have a little bit of that talk, but anyways, yeah, he's.
Oh, I was waiting for the bit.
Pardon?
I was waiting for the bit. You'll have to just tell me what the bit was. Well, you'll have to tell me about the highlight from your conversation with him.
Yeah, you know what? We actually had a pretty lengthy talk, and yeah, okay, I see. You know, he's brilliant. Like, he's got so much nutrition background, and I'd have to go back and listen to what we talked about, because we talked about COVID and treating COVID, because he's got his own kind of, he's not a doctor, but he's got a lot of education behind him, and he does a lot of research. So he's been in the industry for a long time. He used to write for the magazines as well. So we got to talk about a lot of different aspects, but he is brilliant, and I love his product that he's actually back ordered. It seems like.
Does it have a flavor?
What?
Does it have a flavor to it?
It's a coffee. Sorry, it's chocolate. It's got uses cacao.
Nice.
So it has a bit of like a chocolate flavor to it. So
well, that would taste good in tea.
And it's got he uses creatine, and he's a huge fan of creatine.
I like to mix things like that, like mushroom, and some of the mixes that are supposed to go in coffee or like a chai. I like to put in just some almond milk.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge tea or coffee drinker, but I like to drink a little almond milk with my dinner sometimes.
There's a product that I really like called the nut pods.
Okay. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the link. I think it's called nut pods, and they have different flavors, but they're super, super clean. Made with there's his website. Made with different nuts. So I'll have to send you what I've gotten. I'll have to send you a picture of it. They're like gluten-free and sugar-free and all of that, but they're kind of like a non-dairy creamer. But
send the link on over.
I will. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. You were probably with me on this next one with Miss Fitness Olympia, Whitney Jones. So I want to hear some Valley Girl just before we dive into the background and awesome story of Whitney. Can you give us some?
From me?
Well, no, I want to. Wendy, can you do some Valley Girl? Can you do some Valley Girl?
Let's hear it.
For sure. I think I need a manicure. The sun, I swear, is bleaching out my hair. 22, 44. I don't know the sticking score. Go. 5. Gee, I hope I look all right.
That was so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. Next time I see you, we're doing a Valley Girl challenge. I will practice.
Oh my God, Valley Girl on cue. I grew up in the Valley, so that was no problem for me.
Can you do another one right now?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Gag me with a spoon.
Really?
Oh my God, gag me with a spoon.
Do you ever go Valley Girl on Matt?
I think I naturally sound that way all the time. So I don't know if I have to try. It's just there. It's in me, So yeah.
That's awesome. That was so fun. We'll have to go back and watch some of our previous episodes.
Well, the thing about that clip is that it's not really about that clip when I see that, because the thing with Whitney is when you're talking to Whitney, you just feel so special and so comfortable. She has that effect on people, whenever I talk to her, I just feel she just there's this aura around her. She just makes you feel so special, and you just are so important to her, and she's a gift that she has. And I think the three of us together, we just got ourselves so comfortable. It was like we were just girls chit-chatting. I felt like we were gonna you know, go into my bathroom and do facials afterwards, but unfortunately it's all too far away. That was really fun. That was a fun time.
Well, we could have. We just would have had to stay on the phone.
That's true. Actually, good point. We do. Yes, that's true. Maybe we should plan on that.
Should have a facial party sometime.
Oh yeah, I do. I have my own personal facial party every night anyway, so it'd be nice to have some people join me, some girls join me.
I know, right? All right. Well, let's see. We've got next up is Steve Cardillo, who has been a mainstay in this industry for, well, before me. So, and I came around in the mid 90s, and he's got a tremendous career and legacy that he's left with. Cardillo weight belts is the #1 custom weight belt company in the whole world. And he started off right around the time that I started off with his weight belts. And he asked me to do a modeling thing for, you know, through one of the photographers I was shooting with. And he said he's like, I never knew this, but when we talked, he's like, that was something that made a big difference for him, being able to utilize my name in the beginning of his career. And I was like, I never knew that. And did you see the belt he finally sent me?
No. Are you going to show me?
Well, let's see what Claudia's got up for us here, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
How many inventions have you created at this point?
Probably most of them have been in the fitness world. Probably 6, but probably the best thing is that drop set. No one's really caught on to that. When I first started, I used 5-gallon buckets like 40 years ago. So I've been doing the concept for 40 years. It's just I've incorporated all the machines recently. But that's probably you know, if someone really caught on to it, they would find it's amazing. For rehab, it's amazing. But again, I'm running my own little world here, so it doesn't matter to me if it catches on or not. But it's
I just want to point out the background of his office was pretty cool. It was very well decorated. You could tell what he does for a living based on, kind of like you. You could tell what he does for a living based off of his background. Yeah. I've never seen him before. So that was I knew of him, but I've never seen him before. So
his interview was really interesting, and it actually went a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. So my darling husband picked this up for me. Thank you, honey. He went and grabbed this. So I received this in the mail. Just kind of a funny side note. My other belt is sitting up on the shelf in front of me, so I can't grab it unless I get up right now. But I had picked up the belt, and I was showing him. You'll grab it for me. Awesome. Brad's getting it for me. So this was my original one. Thanks, sweetheart. The one that he made me in 1995.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Put a heart on there because, you know, I've been signing everything with the heart, right? And so I had it on. I've been wearing it, and thank you, Brad. Yep. And I stood up to show him that I had it on, and he's like, "You've got the belt on." So we were laughing about it. And then he was saying that he had over all the years that he'd been doing these belts, that he had supplied all of the IFBB Olympia champions with the belt. And I go, well, Steve, I said, can I send my belt back and have it, have you autograph it, and then also have the Olympia insignia and stuff put on it, right? The logo.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yeah. He goes, yeah, I could do something like that because, you know, you were a pro athlete and all that. And he didn't realize that I had won the Olympia 98. And I think the biggest thing was because back then it was in France.
Yeah.
It wasn't like because they used to hold the men's Olympia and the women's Olympia sometimes separate.
Yeah.
you know, in different places. So in '98, we were in France and the guys were somewhere else. So, you know, it wasn't together. So you know, the industry kind of potentially missed out on what the girls were doing, right? Because even the women's bodybuilding was separate. So when I told him, because I realized he didn't know that I'd won the Olympian. He's like,
Wow.
I said, well, I actually won the Olympian. He's like, you did? He's like, when? And I think he felt bad because, you know, he was just saying all the Olympia athletes had always had one or ended up.
Well, he made it up to you.
Yeah. So I get this in the mail and he remembered that I liked Tweety Bird.
Oh,
Isn't it pretty?
That's so cool.
I know, and then he put the heart on it too, because I had made a comment about the heart, and I was like, "You remembered the heart."
Oh my gosh,
Isn't it pretty?
so
I know, there we go.
awesome. I love it.
So it was such a surprise to
so
get.
Cool.
And
I like that it's white too. I've never seen a white one, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I might have had white with. I don't even know, but I know I'm a huge fan of white as well.
I could tell you've got like that smile, like you, like a little girl on Christmas.
I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a belt finally after all these years.
With your Tweety Bird in your heart. It's like,
well, you know, it's interesting. Steve and I had such a great conversation. He talked about when he started lifting weights and his dad, and how his dad had, you know, got these weights for him. And we talked, I mean, it was, you know, I think we have 2 or 3 episodes together. Yeah. And it was a long conversation. And I have to admit that when I first started asking him to do the interview, I felt reluctant to do the interview with me, because when I found out I was the first female that's ever interviewed him, and he probably was like, a girl's going to talk to me. What is a girl going to talk to me about?
You guys totally like had good like communication chemistry.
Oh, there was so much to talk about between the past and how we both got started kind of in the same timing, and how his career grew, and all the years of what he's done, and his training, and how he's, you know, the people in his life that he's helped, you know, with their businesses. And then of course we talked about all his crazy training. I don't know if you've watched what he does, but he has nuts.
I saw that clip. That was insanity.
Yeah, you have to go back and see some of his stuff on YouTube or Instagram. But okay. So we're moving on because we got the banner. Okay, we're moving on to another amazing IFBB professional who I believe you were with me for, Miss Tangi Johnson. We're talking about your childhood. Were there issues maybe at that point where, you know, your mom is Korean, right?
Right.
And your dad is African American. As a child growing up with 2 drastic different cultures and parents, like what were other kids good to you, or do you have different experiences?
Well, I want to back up real quick and say, number one, I'm really glad that we're having this conversation, especially during our current climate right now. I feel like there's kind of 2 ways that we can look at this. First, there's humankind, right? There's just humankind. And so for us, the reason why you didn't see me as a Black woman is because you see me as a human first, right? Yeah. And so, and a lot of people consider themselves to be colorblind because they're very good at seeing humanity.
Mm-hmm. I loved talking to her. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Yeah.
She's the thing is Tangi has a gift of collecting information and hearing different people with different views. And she is so able to be so diplomatic about like taking everything in and then kind of pushing her like judo energy back out and explaining things in a way that I think a lot of people can learn from, because if more people communicated that way, you know, she's the kind of person who won't necessarily agree with everything you say, but she understands you and helps you to understand her. And I think that's a gift. I mean, she did that the whole interview. She was able to take what I was saying, what you were saying, and she was able to like kind of bring it all around and explain, you know, what her perspective was. It was really, it was very special.
I agree. And it's probably one of the reasons too that she was such a big impact, or made such a big impact in her training and coaching for so many years with so many different athletes over all the different events and all the different ways of training. Like she really made an impact and had a huge, or has a huge following. And I know she's gotten out of that coaching piece more, but I know that there's probably a lot of women that are missing her leadership in that role where she was, you know, just really bringing so many athletes along at the same time and sharing, like you're saying, that kind of cool way of explaining things. And
I
agree.
she was talking about that, when she was talking about, you know, how, you know, a lot of people consider themselves colorblind, she was able to say that that's not a bad thing, but why, you know, it's important to be able to recognize that, you know, how she actually wants people to embrace her race. Like she doesn't want you to be colorblind to her, because she was explaining how there are all these awesome things that come along with her culture and what her background, and why she appreciates that you see colorblind. But hey, hang on, like I want you to actually see my color, because there's a lot behind this that I actually am proud of. And she was able to express that and appreciate you. I just thought the whole conversation was brilliant. It was awesome.
I agree. Yeah, there was a lot of really endearing moments with that, and just learning about her more, because, you know, when we're in the industry and hit and miss, you see people, you don't see people, and it's sometimes just like in passing, and then it's so far and few between the time that you actually get to sit and speak with someone and get to know them.
Yeah, she was kind of in the same generation as you two were, sort of in the same generation, right? I mean, you were competing at the same time. Yeah, she was up and you were on top, I think.
Yeah, she was just getting started, and you know, she left the military and all the things. She, you know, her Air Force Academy, like her story at the Air Force Academy, right? Like, as I'm my brain starting to click into the story behind who she is and her past, because you don't, like, when you heard about all the things that she did and how she managed through the Air Force Academy and how she kept growing in that realm, and then she just left everything to try fitness.
Yeah, you're putting all these puzzle pieces together to see how this person came to be. Like how can somebody turn out so amazing and be so resilient and have so much tenacity? Like what's behind this type of person? And when you put all those puzzle pieces together, you can kind of see how it happened, how it
happened, right? And that's what's so fun about these shows. So hopefully people will go back in and tune in and, you know, dive into some more of the interviews. Okay, so next up is none other than 8-time Mr. Olympia, Lee Haney. Oh my goodness, let's see what.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you interviewed Lee Haney.
You didn't know I interviewed Lee Haney?
I didn't. I actually didn't. I would have watched that episode for sure.
Now you have to go back.
Yes, I am going to go back.
Next time you're doing cardio.
So, that's definitely cardio watching. Maybe even tonight, because I got to go do my cardio tonight. So tell me, what was your favorite conversation piece?
You know, the whole thing with Lee was really cool, because I have known Lee for years and I've seen him, but never had a really good conversation with him, because all the time I've seen him has been at events. There's a lot going on. There's photos, you know, there's just people around, and there's always an agenda, you know, because we were there working. It was not really just hanging out. So my whole time talking to him was so intriguing, because I just didn't have a lot of knowledge of, you know, how he grew up and, you know, what made him, you know, how he was created basically. And, you know,
the puzzle pieces, how these puzzle pieces come together. Yeah.
And it was really cool just to hear his story. He shared so much with me. And I think he also told me I was the first female to interview him ever. So that was an honor for me to have that, you know, as, you know, these men coming and allowing me to, I'm like, but no, it's just like these guys letting me interview them. It's just kind of, because they're just cool, you know, like to hear the details of, again, another gentleman who his father bought him his first weight set, and he just described all of that to me, you know, to be able to share those young moments of when he was a child. And then also learning about his faith. His faith is everything to him, and he speaks in scripture, like his life and the way he speaks, how he talks, how he talks about himself and what he said. It literally is like he's speaking scripture. It is so cool. I really haven't heard too many men, and other than pastors, you know, sharing a message from, you know, as a pastor, but I haven't really heard just men talk. And I listened to a few of his interviews prior to interviewing him, and I was really impressed. He had one where he was interviewing a group of men on becoming men. I was so intrigued with that, and I had so many questions for him. And you know, the whole time we talked, he had this big, brilliant smile on his face. He was so peaceful. He had such great information about his childhood and at the different stages of his life, and how he, you know, from 6 to 9 to 11 to 17, like all these things. And, you know, of course, becoming a bodybuilder and ended up on, you know, becoming the top bodybuilder, like just all of these great stories that were really special to hear. And and ones that you necessarily wouldn't hear if you're listening to him being interviewed by maybe Dave Palumbo, who's, you know, or one of the big guys that talk about all the training and all those pieces. Because we talked about his relationship with his beautiful wife, of, you know, that he's been married, what, I'm 30 years or 40 years or something, you know, he's been married a very long time, and childhood sweetheart kind of thing, right? And all of those really endearing stories that are, because I'm a relationship person. So I just was honored to be the first female to interview him, to get all of those endearing stories out. And it was a real treasure. So you'll have to go listen to him and hear how he talks. And even at the end, I asked him if he would share with the viewers how to become a Christian, if anyone was interested in giving their life to the Lord. So it was very special conversation. Yeah. And speaking of men and big burly men, next up was one that I just had recently with the Dominican Dominator, Victor Martinez.
Just tell me about that too.
I know, right? It's like, and again, same thing. First female to interview him. He started sharing with me some very heartfelt pieces about coming to America as a young child, wearing shoes for the very first time, flying over here from the Dominican Republic. And his family brought him over, and he's like, I never wore shoes. I had to wear shoes to come to America. I mean, just pieces like that. And then he shared some really heartfelt things about his father, which he told me he's never shared before. And I knew that it kind of brought some emotion in, you know, thinking about his family. He talked about how he grew up in, you know, a really hard part of New York, and how it was, you know, living on the streets. And I mean, we just had some cool conversation. And then of course he was in the December 2019, he was given citizenship, you know, he got citizenship. So, and he talked about the process of that. And that was
just this past years. December 19, 2021?
No, 2019.
Wow. Okay. 2019, but
so
still,
not far
that was
away, though. Like,
not that long ago. Yeah. That's a huge accomplishment.
He's got, you know, children and a beautiful wife. And just, you know, he talked about all the people that helped him along the way, and how he gives back. He's got children with autism, so he does a lot with autism awareness. And he talked about his dreams of things that he is dreaming to do. And it was just like this, I felt like, you know, these men, I feel like I'm just talking to my brother, you know?
What about, where's he at with his career? Is he going to hit the stage again, or is he,
he did, I think 2019 he got on stage, or no, or was it 2020? Maybe it was 2020. He did it kind of as a dare kind of thing. He got back on stage. He did well. But I think he's done with that. And then he's working on a supplement line that he wants to do. You know, we didn't get too deep into that, but he does a lot of coaching and he works with a lot of people. And he had literally just gotten back from Dubai. So he still does a lot of traveling and making guest appearances and doing seminars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's so cool what this industry allows us to connect with people, and even if you don't get to know them real well, like he was, so easy to just felt like we were friends for a long time, even though we weren't close. We never had a chance again, like have big conversations other than in passing and hello and kind of thing. So I love.
Yeah, I had I had a mini conversation with him when I was. I think it was the 2015 Olympia. We were like crossing paths for our tan. And I just remember I had like a very brief conversation with him, and he was the nicest guy. He was actually like wishing all the girls luck, because like it was like me and a couple other figure girls, and he was like wishing us luck, and he was just really nice, Same thing, like just big brother, just energy, definitely. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Well, I think he wants to get one of the bikini Olympia girls on the show with me, so I'll have to have you on one time if we do that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look at that for our season 3. Okay, next up is the first of this type of interview that I want to continue doing. But Sarah Hedges is someone who has been a fan of mine for a very long time, and she had seen me at a few different Arnold's throughout the years and had pictures, and she ended up in a really bad place physically. And since 2020, I think July 2020, she said she's lost over 100 pounds.
What?
And she's getting ready for her very first competition. So her transformation story is something that I want to start doing here on the show. It's awesome to get to talk to all the superstar, like yourself, but I think it's really important to bring in some of these other, type of.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Just a normal gal who, loved the industry and, lost her way with her own self because of family and, situations with work and relationship and children. And here she is, she's lost 105 pounds, getting ready for her first show in April. So let's see what Claudia's saved for us.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah. So this was her journey.
Wow.
Literally starting in July 2020.
What?
I know, right?
Wow. What? Oh my gosh.
So
what was her name again? Sarah?
Sarah Hedges. So you'll have to go
Sarah,
on.
if you're listening, I just want to say congratulations. You're amazing.
She really is. And she's got such a big bubbly personality. And she, so maybe another time you're doing Cardillo, you'll have to tune into that one, because just very inspiring, look at, she's on. Look at there she is. She says hi, ladies. There she is.
Hi, Sarah. Congratulations. You're amazing. Holy
Sarah,
crap.
you made the top 12 girl on my show. I'm so thankful to have had you on here, and just to be able to share all that you've done. It's such an inspiration to not only your followers and friends, but also to people like me. So, and I know Wendy as well.
Oh yeah, I'm super inspired. I'm like itching to get out of here, go to the gym. That's what I'm gonna do after this. So Sarah is gonna be my inspiration for my workout today.
You're gonna be like Lee Haney, Sarah. Who do I watch?
Oh yeah, both.
You're gonna be doing cardio for hours.
I will. I am definitely gonna watch it, Sarah.
And now we've got Laura Lee on here. Okay, Laura Lee is also a veteran. Hi, Laura Lee. Nice to see you, sweetheart. I haven't got to catch up with her in a long time. Garrick says, hi, Lisa. We've got a lot of people connecting here. Sarah says, I had the best time. Thanks again for having me. You are so welcome, Sarah. Loved it. Hi, Laura Lee. All right. So let's see. We're down to our last 2, and I think it's actually 11 and 12 basically connected all together. So as you know, right?
Like big drum roll.
So as you know, I've been working with Sarah Lyons Glabman over the last 2 years now, and we started doing these photo shoots together where I'm helping to promote and produce them, all the logistics of it. And then they became the epic destination shoots. And she started out with her publishing Bodyscape magazine, which you can see my cover right here.
Beautiful.
And we ended up starting to work together, and she brought me on as associate editor for the magazine. We've got Carrie Lee Brown, who is now doing, she was the previous Oxygen magazine editor-in-chief. So she does all the profiles for our cover girls. So she does all their profile write-ups. So we've got a really cool celebrity writer that's doing the profile write-ups. And I've just had a blast working with Sarah on Bodyscape, and we've got a new magazine coming out. I say she's publishing it. I'm just kind of helping as a teammate here, but it's called Epic Fit magazine. The first one will be launched at the Fit magazine. So it'll be the first one will come out the end of January, beginning of February is our first one for that. So we're still, rolling with the Epic Destination shoots for 2022. And we've got our first one coming up there in Miami again, the end of January. And then we roll into Arizona and back in February, March, and then back in Texas somewhere at the end of April. And so that's what we've got anyways for the first part of the year. So let's see what Claudia's put together for those.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So 𝗬cie is a professional fitness and professional dancer. And she came to shoot, she shot with Sarah numerous times over the past few years. She came to Miami from the country of Georgia. She flew in to shoot with us. And she is going to be on the Dancing with the Stars for Georgia, for the country of Georgia. She's got to become a big sensation in her country.
He's one of the professional dancers.
I can hear you. Remind me to tell you about that purple outfit. 𝗬cie, our celebrity hair and makeup artist, is amazing. And that's her dance partner. Katarina. Dr. Sarah G. She's pretty amazing out of Denver. She's actually from New York. She has a tremendous story herself. If you haven't heard her story, she is on, both of the girls have an interview. Her first real photo shoot, this girl. So fun. So one of the opportunities that the women that are on the cover of Bodyscape magazine, they come on the show and we do an interview and share their story with them on the show. So both of those women have tremendous stories. 𝗬cie, or 𝗬_cat, we call her, lost her husband. She lived in LA and they were doing tremendously well. They had a very lucrative and great business, 2 children, and she ended up losing her husband. So it was a pretty devastating story of how she lost her husband and what she went through and had to go home to Georgia to kind of regroup and find some peace. And she got into this dancing, and she has a tremendous story. She's so cool, what she's done and her inspiration and what her heart is for others. And then Dr. Sarah G has an amazing story. She almost died a few times, even as a doctor. So she came down with MS, and her story of her recovery and how she's recovering and what she's doing to keep herself healthy and well. And so, and she's not ever modeled before, and she came on to get her story out there because she wants to
look like she's modeled before. She didn't look like she's never modeled before. She looked like a vet.
Well, that's what happens when women, I mean, I know you have, been doing this for a long time, but when people show up and work with me and Sarah, that's what you get. Right? I do all the detail and posing coaching for each photo shoot. So I'm helping the women, even 𝗬cie, like I didn't have to, when she was doing her dance stuff, but some of the other stuff, she was like, Monica, help me with her cool accent.
Well, of course, but you're good with like knowing the right angles. And then Sarah's obviously an expert with knowing where to shoot her camera from, which is huge. By the way, that's another huge thing that Sarah's amazing at. And there's some other photographers who are really good at this, but you know, you could have a beautiful model in an awesome position, but some photographers just have this gift for being able to position their camera in just the right angle. You, as the model, you can't see that. You don't know what angle they're at, but like that, Sarah's awesome at that. Like there's just like certain angles where you just a little bit here and a little bit down, it can make the whole picture look like a totally different picture. You know?
Well, one of the things for Sarah is that she modeled previously. She modeled, and she also, and she was in the industry actually with metrics, and then she did a lot of different photo shoots, you know, coming up through, and then she got kind of tired of doing that, wanted to try doing photography. So she's self-taught photography.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
And I think that helps when you have been on the other side of it, right? Like you kind of
also a trailblazer for like a very male dominated profession. Like most top photographers are men, and she has made her name as, you know, very well known, and she's kind of a trailblazer on that front, you know, for just very strong women. And she has the perspective of the model, she has the perspective of like being a strong, powerful photographer. She is really a, you know, a true trailblazer on that end.
I agree, and she'll probably be love to hear that from you, and honored with your message there. So thank you. It's very special. Let's see. We've got a couple comments here. Anthony Harless, awesome job. Sarah, my wife. I'm trying to look over here. Let's see. My wife has lost 80 pounds. Good seeing people take care of their health.
Congratulations to your wife.
You're right. Congratulations. Congratulations. And let's see, Sarah says, Anthony, that's awesome. Yes, exactly. And Lisa Z, what else you got here? See what I mean about photographers being able to see their vision come to life. Sarah Lyons is awesome. Yes, she is. She is. All right, guys. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our time together. We have obviously all of those interviews are on the YouTube channel there, my YouTube channel at MonicaBrantFanTV. So you guys can go and check out the other interviews: Lee Haney, Victor Martinez, Tangi Johnson, Steve Cardillo, and of course, Will Brant. Yeah, I think even if people go and listen to Wes and Milo, they are in a different kind of category than the bodybuilding and fitness industry, but to each of them have a tremendous story of being an underdog, or being, you know, like Milo he grew up dirt poor, and he has a really cool memory, you know, of his work ethic as he was growing up, and how he helped to take care of his mother. And when his dad wasn't around, or, you know, his dad was gone. Right. And just some really cool stories of these people, these different upbringings, how they got their start, you know, what they're doing now. And then Monica,
I think we have one more. That was 11.
Well, those were, the last two was, Times Square. No, you're right. We do have Times Square.
I was thinking, wait a minute. I did the drum roll. We had two left. And I was like, did I miss something? Okay, we have one more.
We've got one more. You're right. I'm so sorry. Thank you. It's our Times Square information. So cool. Yeah, you're right. We did have, that was the last one. I think what happened is the number on my list wasn't there, so I just saw 11. But so yeah, Times Square. So that's a legit thing. Sarah has these opportunities for our clients to be featured on a billboard in Times Square.
What?
I was just featured. Mine ran from December 13th to 19th. And then I think they were extending that group of them another week. So I'm not. It may still be up right now. I'm not sure.
Times Square.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Again, like you said, Sarah's a trailblazer, and no one else in the fitness industry has this opportunity. So we've got all the opportunities there in Times Square with all these different sizes. As you can see, they're all kind of different sizes. And we've
We
got.
should be paying her though, because those are beautiful photos and it dresses up Times Square. So I hope she's getting paid for that.
Yes. Yep. So we have the Times Square building or slots, and we also had Vegas. I was up in Vegas earlier this year. And then now we've got some opportunities coming up in Los Angeles. And the ones right now in Times Square are all branded, meaning the logo for Supermodels Unlimited and all these different things are on there. But the ones that are going to be coming up in LA on Wilshire Boulevard will be unbranded, meaning you as a model or client only will have your information up on these giant billboards.
Wow.
I know. So it's kind of
everyone
really,
might want to take notes on that. That sounds like an awesome opportunity.
right? I mean, get your name out there. So, so those are the branded ones. And these are going to be the, those are all branded. So those are all in Times Square. And right now we don't have any in LA to showcase, but yeah, right?
Girl with the pink hair, she's beautiful.
Oh yeah, Anissa. Anissa's an amazing entrepreneur there in Scottsdale. She's got a tremendous business herself.
I like the combination of like the kind of the, I wouldn't say that's black and white. It's kind of like a dark, like a navy blue and white. I love that scheme mixed with like the colors. And I mean, I don't know if that was if that was a kind of a rendering of Times Square.
So, Claudia,
vision, or if that was actually, but it looked good together.
Yeah. So Claudia, if you can, I don't know if you have it handy, but if you can show Wendy our cover for the holiday Bodyscape magazine cover. I don't know if you can pull it up, but it'd be fun to show you. It's a headshot of this beautiful girl, Amanda, black. Oh my gosh, I'm spacing. I'm thinking of Black. I'm thinking of her Instagram, Black Label. I'm like, that's not her last name. Oh my goodness, my brain. Amanda Black, sorry. Yep. And so she's got her cover is out right now. And let's see if Claudia is able to pull it up.
I will in a few minutes if you guys give me like 2 minutes. So keep talking.
Yeah. Can you see that, Wendy?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So that was one of those pictures was up on the billboard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she actually has been in Maxim magazine as well before. So
that looks. I was gonna say that there's like a Maxim kind of look that has like Sarah lines, like the way that she like, I don't know, brings out people's eyes. Like it has a very like Maxim vibe. You know what I mean?
Well, I think part of that too is that whenever we do these shoots, and this is something she's done for years before me, even with, because I mean, when I went and shot with her in 2011, I showed up and she had a hair and makeup artist and she had wardrobe, which we still provide today for the girls that shoot with us. They show up and we have A-list makeup artist, hair and makeup artist, and then we always provide wardrobe as well. But the makeup artist is very specific. You know, she has a specific look, and even back in 2011, moving into now, like she's had that same preferred makeup artist feel. So you know, it's that glam, that kind of It can be heavier, it can be lighter, but you know, it's same kind of feel. And of course, you know, her editing is also second to none. Like she is a rock star editor, and when I've seen editing from other people, sometimes I'm like, I miss Sarah.
Everything looks crisp and clear, and it looks like it's jumping out of the page at you. It's awesome.
It's fun stuff. I think we'll see if we get that cover up here for everyone to see, but it was super. It just came out, just launched. And
was it the picture that you just showed me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Is that the one you were talking about on the billboard?
You know what? I loved all of them. What I liked was the combination of just how it's not like everything is like a bunch of colors or everything is black and white. It's like there's like a really beautiful kind of blend of everything, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely.
And I don't know
Well,
what the effect is, but I really like that effect where it's not black and white, but it's like this like navy blue and cream. You know what I mean? Like I like that effect. That's a nice one.
Yeah. Well, it's neat because a lot of the girls, and this girl is specifically Amanda was one of them, but a lot of the girls went up to New York for a day or two and got pictures and video, you know, of themselves up there. It's cool
They're
for
like,
them.
you guys, this is me.
I know, right? Giant. And Amanda actually, this one took her mom up there, so it was fun for her. They had a girls trip. They went to see it.
That's a once in a lifetime
right.
kind of a deal, right?
I
That's
know,
cool.
I know. I would have loved to have gone up there, but it just wasn't feasible for me to actually get to New York.
Yeah. Like you don't have anything else to do, right?
No, there she is. There it is.
Beautiful.
Little Amanda Black.
Beautiful.
Best. And so what Sarah did with this one is she went through the best of Bodyscape up to this point. So she's got, it's a pretty large issue, and she brought in a lot of her favorite models, features, and so forth. So it's a pretty big issue, but super fun, super fun. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudia.
Pretty
It's
girl.
cool to see it in that size, just to see it in all its glory.
Right, exactly. All right. Well, that wraps up our top 12.
All right. That was awesome, Monica.
Okay, guys. Sorry, it's Claudia here. I just want to say, Monica, thank you so much for everything you've done. You have a great show, and we cannot wait for next year. Wendy, you're amazing. Thank you for allowing me to just be creative, and I cannot wait for next 2022.
2022.
We should thank you, Claudia. You're the mastermind behind the scenes, making everything happen, and you're just the most beautiful person. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you for being so sweet. Just give the best vibes. You're the best.
Thank you. You
Claudia,
guys are amazing.
Thank you for all you've done, Claudia. And I know stepping in and learning all new program, and like, you know, because Claudia and we started this off last year together after I was working with the other guy, and I like, do you want to help me with this? And she's like, yeah.
I'm like,
I can hear her saying it like that too. Yeah.
It's
how we all talk. We're all Valley girls. You guys are all
hello.
You know, this has been new for me, interviewing people and trying to help edify others. Not that edifying others, but just, you know, with a good source of information and pulling great information out. Of course, Claudia is able to go in and help us put it all together for people to enjoy seeing it and making it work. So, Claudia, thank you so much. And it's been so fun.
You know,
thank you both for letting me be a part of this. It's such an awesome honor.
You know what? People forget that we are real people. Like, you know, Monica, you've been an icon. You've been an amazing person to so many, like, you know, Wendy, all of us, and people forget we're real. We like to connect with others. We like to inspire others as much as they inspire us. So for that, thank you. It's been so long that you've been in this career, and I mean, it's a pleasure. It's a blessing to have you to share the knowledge that you have, and for that reason, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be creative. Thank you for allowing Wendy to join us. Thank you for everything. You know, I cannot wait for 2022.
Well, I certainly couldn't do this without you both and all of my awesome guests. So excited. Wendy, go in and tune into those other ones that you haven't. So you have plenty of cardio information or shows to watch.
Yep.
And Wendy, we cannot wait for your like blowing away like next year. Like you are so like, we cannot wait to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
I have I don't know if I told you guys that I am one of the 10 people, one of the 10 ladies selected in the world to compete at the Arnold. So that's
I know.
Like
wow.
11 weeks out from that. So I have a lot of cardio watching I need to find. So we're good.
Did you say 11 weeks out?
So I need to count. I think it's 11. I hope. I think.
So, I can talk to you, Wendy, because we would love to like just capture your journey and put it on season 3 for the Monica Brant show.
Yeah.
that would be
So let's
great.
We'll talk
Let's
offline
talk.
about that.
Let's
I need
talk
your
about
help,
that.
Olivia. I'm trying to learn all this too, so I need your help. We're gonna help each other.
That's right. That's right.
We'll capture the journey, and you never know. We might have
You never
second
know.
icon coming out here. You know.
Yeah.
Claudia's Claudia's got some good stuff.
Yep.
Claudia's got some good stuff that she's going to be coming up with. I can just feel it. I know she's all excited about season 3. So looking forward to what she shares with me because I don't even know what she's got up her sleeves. But
I'm not gonna tell you.
Really fast. I have to show you my puppy so that you can see the difference in his size with your next show because we gotta see.
Oh,
hi,
let's see it.
Claudia.
Let's see it.
And Cammie says hi and happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody watching. My little pumpkin. She's gonna be 16 next year.
16?
Next year. Oh, look at the baby.
Oh my God! I just want to touch them.
Here, let's see if we can match ears.
Oh
Cammie's
my
like,
God!
Isn't he like the cutest thing ever?
I know, super cute, super cute. I think they're kind of the same color, aren't they?
Yeah, the Merle color scheme.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Aw.
so cute. Guys,
Friends.
it's been a pleasure.
He's so cute.
Oh my God! It's just so freaking
Super
cute.
cute,
Ears.
super cute. Cammie says,
All right, you guys. Sorry.
so cute, so cute. Well, I think people understand how much we all love our animals. So
Yes.
awesome. Well, Claudia, thanks for popping on here and saying hi.
Sorry, I
everyone.
didn't mean to. I just I had to say thank you.
No, I'm glad you
are
did.
amazing, Wendy. I'm so blessed to know you, and you guys are amazing.
Well, we're looking forward to 2022. Claudia, thank you so much again, honey. I love you so much. And thanks for coming on. And for y'all that are tuning in, this is Claudia, and she is our show producer. And she does a lot of my social media managing and posts. And she's been a huge blessing for me and so many people over the last few years. And she takes care of her family. And she lives in Canada. I wish we had her here.
It's snowing. See,
It's
No.
snowing. That's right. All right, girl. Well,
all right, guys. So I'm out. You guys can say goodbye.
Bye.
and Cammie decided she's got those little weird backward sneezes.
Rocky gets the same things.
It's okay.
All right, Monica. Thank you so much for letting me be on your show.
Happy New Year, Wendy. We'll have you back.
That my puppy man. Be on your show.
So cute.
No.
Well, Happy New Year to you
Happy
guys.
New Year.
Oh, did you freeze up?
Oh,
And
did I?
there you go. Happy New Year. And I know you've got jury duty, so I pray that that goes well for you.
Thank you. All right. Bye, Monica. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys, that's a wrap for now, but we will be back with more in 2022. So thank you guys for joining and visiting over here on the chat. It's been a blessing. This year has been such a blessing, even with all the crazy stuff going on. It's still been such a blessing with so many great interviews and getting to connect with people. I am a relationship person, so it's really a blessing for me to get to spend time with these wonderful people. And if you guys that are listening have any ideas for any conversations that I should have that are been transformations, I think 𝗬cie, we should have you on sometime if you're still here. We need to talk about getting you on and sharing your story because it is quite amazing as well. But if any of you have any ideas, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can email Claudia@MonicaBrant.com and make your suggestions for a possible interview. It'd be great to have them on. And God bless you guys. Pray for safe New Year's Eves. And we will see you guys for season 3 in 2022.
Life is beautiful, 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 life is beautiful.
Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching the Tasty Pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.